happening, folks? I was sitting watching the tube last night and saw where they had another big old pile up there in Pennsylvania. A friend of mine turned to me and asked me, you know, you out there all the time, so why do we see these pileups? Never used to see them when we were younger. I said, well, there's a couple reasons. So number one, when we were younger, when we didn't have, everybody wasn't toting a camera around with them, aka their cell phone. They did happen back then, not near as frequently, but they did happen. When I was younger, I lived in California, lived in between Bakersfield and Fresno there in a little town called Porterville, and we used to get fog out there in the winter. Thickest fog I ever seen in my life. That fog, you could get lost in a parking lot, literally. If you got too far away from your car and lost your way, you literally could get lost in a parking lot trying to make it to wherever you're trying to make it to. People used to drive down the road with their door open so they could watch the line in the road until another car come by doing the same thing and they both get their heads bashed in. You used to see them pileups out there because they were literally, you couldn't see the car in front of you until you hit it. You know, that's why the wise people would just not drive in it. But you always got that guy that says, I gotta get to work, and he gets out in it. Today it's a little bit different story. Really, on the modern pileups, I'm seeing 4, 5, 6, 10 of them a year. I blame it on 2, maybe 3 things. Well, yeah, 3 things. And this is beside you. You ask any driver this question. I mean, oh, damn four-wheelers got their finger in their phone, and they, you know, it's always the four-wheeler's fault. Never truck driver's fault, you know. That's fantasy. I'll give you reality. Number 1, in these truck cabs now today, it is so much easier to get distracted. You got your radio if you got one barking at you. You got your car radio barking at you. You got your phone barking at you. You got your electronic log / you know, whatever dispatch system your company's got barking at you. Then you got the four-wheelers out on the road not driving worth a hoot. Other big trucks not driving worth a hoot. It's a lot easier to be distracted in these trucks than it used to be. God forbid you got a dog in your truck trying to smoke a cigarette, trying to cook your dinner going down the road. You'd be amazed. Second reason is this one isn't really truckers' fault. This is bureaucrats' fault. It's these electronic logs. It's a little better now. Emphasis on the word little. They made some changes in the split sleeper and the 30-minute rule. Gives you a little more power to stop the clock. But like I say, before when I was on paper logs, I'd drive into, you know, some real bad weather conditions I'd really rather wouldn't be driving in. I pull over to a truck stop, maybe get me a good hot meal and a couple hour nap, let the storm blow by, let them maybe get a handle on the roads, and I take off again. Okay, hey, if you ain't on that road, you can't be in that wreck. Now it's, you know, if you start your day, you're pretty much locked into a window to finish that day. So these drivers, and this varies a lot company to company, because like my company, smaller company, and I call it my dispatch, that's all conditions have just went to hell. This just ain't getting there in the morning. They tell me to do the best I can and be safe. These big companies where you're just a number, they see your truck stop and they want to know why you stopped. When you gonna be going again? And they preach a lot about safety and blah blah blah, but no. Get your butt fired real quick from a big company, go to stopping, holding up their freight because you don't feel safe. But like I said, that's a product of the big company, and that point kind of ties into the third point. The third reason you're seeing so many of these wrecks, and it's everybody today, and it's a, I guess, an instant gratification thing or whatever, but everybody's in just such a damn hurry. Go, 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 go. And the weather hits, and they just simply will not slow down. Now, some of these, tying back to these big companies, like the LTL, little wiggle wagon haulers, they got X amount of time to get from point A to point B, like they all hooked up. And if they don't make it, they get points. They get so many points, they get fired. Which is dead wrong. Because that goes directly against, you know, you being the captain of your ship and being safe. And of all vehicles to do this with, wiggle wagons. They're little short couple tractors and wiggle wagons, you're going to get them on some slick ground and then tell them they got to drive through it, they can't slow down. Good Lord. Then you got some Billy Big Riggers out there that speed limit 70 mile an hour, driver, be 4 foot of snow on the ground. Boy, they'll come by you. You won't see nothing go blow by but the bullhorns on the hood and ass load of chicken lights and the cowboy hat they're wearing. And 10 miles up the road, you'll see them in a ditch. But it'd be some four-wheeler put them there. By God, it wasn't their fault. It's pretty amazing. Don't get me wrong. There's been nights that whether I really should have parked my truck, and I did. was lucky, and I made it. One other small detail that people don't account for either is a lot of drivers don't even run radios in their trucks anymore. CB radios, they don't. And I've got one, but half the time it stays turned off because I get tired of hearing a "shut up, stupid, I ain't got no panties on." Just stupidity that comes out of that box. But there was a time in the world when we used that box like it was supposed to be used. You knew there was a tie-up 100 miles before you got there. But I'd say 3 out of 10 trucks today have a CD in it, and maybe one of those stays on with any consistency. But you'll see those videos from those wrecks, and you'll see them trucks coming in there full bore and be 150 foot before the accident. You'll finally hear the Jake brake kick on, which automatically tells you they done screwed up, because icy roads, you really shouldn't have a Jake brake on. And them trucks just hit that pile of trucks and cars full bore. Never checked up. And that's after the weather's done cleared and they can see the wreck. They're still piling into it. The ones that are really spooky is when the weather's still going on and somebody's filming and you can just see these trucks and cars materialize out of the snow 50 foot before they hit a car. That's why you're starting to see more of these states, these northern states, when the weather gets bad, kick trucks off the highway. Even though the trucks are probably the better ones to handle it, but they just take trucks out of the equation and kick them off the highway. I know Pennsylvania's gotten big on that. Really kind of surprised that didn't have any effect yesterday, but I don't know that it was that much snow. See Michigan do it, Ohio do it. Restrict trucks from the road. And I feel over the years you're gonna see that spread. It's gonna be a bigger thing. Like I said, people disagree with me if you want to, but a vast majority of those wrecks can simply be added up to the fact that people just don't want to slow down. These cars have gotten to the point that they practically drive themselves. First car was a 72 Pontiac Catalina. Had the Flintstone drive. You could see the world go by underneath your feet. It didn't have no floorboards in it. Yeah, I mean, it was a real... It took every bit of your attention to drive that car. hit the brake pedal, you didn't know which way it was going to go. And that old cushy suspension. Hit the brake pedal hard, you take your pick which one was going to lock, which wheel was going to lock up. These cars today are nothing like that. These cars today, I think you can drive train an 8-year-old drive some of these cars. They're so easy to drive. That's why, you know, when something bad happens, in front of them, it's just a lack of experience driving that car. They don't know what to do. But y'all got my opinion on that. You can argue with me down in the comments if you want to. Like and support if you would. Subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Anything you want to hear about, talk about, hear my opinion on, put that down below. I'll do my best to get you a video out to talk about it. Y'all have a fine day, and I'll catch you on the flip side.